With the same credentials that you access the Loden Sports Performance Lab app with, you can also log into quarry.lodensports.com. You can either type that in your address bar or it's linked directly from our website. But basically what Quarry is a web app interface for all of the data and more data that we're not representing in the app for the Loden Sports Performance Lab app. So I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough here on what all of that looks like and all of the cool things that you can do using the Quarry. The first tab here is the Overview tab. So it's this little clipboard here on the left. And when you click on this, you have access to readiness scores if you've recently jumped your athletes, and you can view readiness for 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. You can see their RSI differential and their power differential over that time. When that's here, this is exportable, and you can also sort by groups. So if you have groups of athletes and you want to see just your varsity basketball team, you can click on your varsity basketball team and they will all pop up here. You can see it all in one look, and then you can see green, 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 hopefully, and then maybe a yellow or two. And then you'll know immediately without even having to think, those are the 2 athletes that you need to go potentially explore why they're down this week compared to last week. So that's the readiness tab, and you can look at, again, readiness scores just like you can in the app, but in an aggregate view as opposed to on a 1-by-1 basis. And then you have your Loden scores. So your Loden scores, again, this is exportable. You can have this toggle up top, athlete's latest record only, toggle it on, toggle it off. Okay, you can show your junior Loden scores if you're dealing with younger kids, or the default is to the regular Loden scores. Now, if you are in the Quarry and there's data that you've recently collected that is not appearing here, you may need to refresh. If you refresh, it will tell you when all of your data is up to date. Okay. So in addition to that, you also have your asymmetry. So you can view your asymmetry, and we have these cool little circles that will tell you whether an athlete is in the green or in the yellow or in the red based on their asymmetry on the single leg jump test. And then you also have the ability to custom build really from any of these really. So you can click on custom columns, customize columns, select exactly what you want. Okay, so I want my Loden scores, but I also want the full set of my junior Loden scores as well. And you can see there they are side by side. And again, you can export this to a CSV at any time you want. So that's the overview table. Let's move into the detailed data. So again, I mentioned that Loden Sports has a number of different metrics that we are capturing on the back end: concentric mean force, peak velocity, on the jump metrics, and we don't represent all of that data back in the app. We're not looking to overwhelm our users in the app, but there are a number of people out there who do want to get into more detailed data, and they do want to see force data and acceleration data and ground contact times and contraction times. So we've created the Quarry, which again, this is something that you can log into with the same credentials as your regular app account, and it is not an additional cost, and you can view all of your additional metrics in here. And we have, amongst our jump tests, we have as many as 50 additional metrics that are not appearing in the app that you can appear here. So this is something where you can filter it by date, you can show your active athletes, again, you can sort by group, and you can customize columns. So these are all of the metrics that are available for all of our jump tests. And you can also sort at the top. Say we just want rebound jumps. You can type in rebound. And these are all your additional rebound jump metrics. So we can select all those and save them. Here's our demo athlete. And you can see it here. Average acceleration, peak net ground force, concentric mean force, ground contact time. You've got the drift, which is how much area they're using, jump area, RSI, and then the power points as well. So a lot more to dig into here for the sports scientist. if it's something that you want to do. And again, sort by group, sort by date, and export it. So when you export it, you're able to, let's open it up real quick. You can see there it is. There's your athlete, and it has all of those columns that you asked for. That way, if you wanted to ingest it into an athlete management system that feeds in a bunch of different data sources, that's very easy to do via that CSV. Now, the last tab is going to be your athletes tab. When you click on that, it's a list of all of your athletes, and you have the ability to come in and edit your athletes. So let's change new athlete's name, and he is now Mike Athlete. And let's say we want to add a sport because he doesn't currently have a sport. We'll add baseball. We'll say he's a shortstop, and we'll say that he also plays hockey. And in hockey, he is a right wing. Okay, so we're going to save the athlete. And now you have Mike Athlete. It's updated. You can update your email addresses. All of that information is updated, and that feeds directly back into the app. So another option for adding information on your athletes at a later date. And then I'm going to get into this in a second video on how to mass import athletes into your account, which can be done directly through adding an athlete. Mike Athlete 2, Gmail, gmail.com, mail, and this is the format that we use for date of birth. You're gonna have to make sure that it is in that format. It goes to there for you so that you can see exactly the format we're looking for. So city and state, we'll say Denver, and again primary sport, baseball, center field. We won't put a secondary sport. Weight, say right. If you want to add them to a group straight off the bat, you can add them to a group, and then you can add the athlete. And there's Mike Athlete 2 with all of their information. And that's the easiest way to single add an athlete from this dashboard. Now, the second video that I'll present is the downloading our CSV template and copy and pasting from a roster sheet and uploading as many as 80 athletes at the same time. So that's the quickest way to get the most athletes into your system and ready to test. And again, any athletes that you add here will also appear on the interface for your app on your iOS device. So this is a cool little dashboard we have here that allows you to do all kinds of different things and you've got this nice little, sorry for the interruption here on the right, force refresh. So because I added an athlete and I changed some information about an athlete, you actually get prompted to force refresh so that everything updates. The tables won't update automatically. You have to force the refresh if there's new information coming in. So again, this is a neat little dashboard that we have here that interfaces on the web for all of our users. Really handy for an admin or for a coach who wants to view things in aggregate form or go into greater detail, or just managing the athletes, getting them uploaded into the system or edited or anything like that. So nice little sister product to what we have going on the iOS side. We're really excited about the iOS app and our ability to capture really accurate jump data. And we're just as excited about this web app that we have here that, again, we're providing at no additional cost with the same login credentials as your iOS account. So this is the Loden Sports Quarry, and we look forward to a whole bunch of people getting a lot of use out of this really easy to use interface.